Scene opens in a small office. A man, Alex, is sitting across from a stern-looking woman, Mrs. Jenkins, at a desk. Alex is nervously adjusting his tie and fidgeting in his chair. Mrs. Jenkins, without looking up, so, Alex, your resume says you've worked at 5 different companies in the past year. Alex, smiling awkwardly, yeah, well, I like to stay flexible? Mrs. Jenkins, raising an eyebrow, flexible? More like mysterious. Alex laughs nervously. Alex, right. Exactly. I'm a mystery to most people. Like a. Pauses, trying to think of something impressive, like a superhero. Mrs. Jenkins, deadpan, oh? What's your superpower? Alex, without missing a beat, I can make an office printer jam just by walking into the room. Mrs. Jenkins, dryly, impressive. That's a skill most employers don't look for. Alex nods as if he's proud. Alex, well, it's all about finding your niche. Mrs. Jenkins, staring at him, your resume also mentions that you're fluent in Klingon and Shakespearean English. Alex, oh, yes. I can read the classics, like. Clears throat dramatically, to be or not to be, that is the question, good lady. Mrs. Jenkins, sarcastically, fascinating. Could you, explain that in plain English? Alex, in Shakespearean accent, verily, I shall. Switches to regular voice, should I eat pizza or tacos tonight? That's the real question. There's a long pause as Mrs. Jenkins stares at him, unamused. Mrs. Jenkins, right. And how would you describe your ideal work environment? Alex, thinking hard, Well, I thrive in a place with lots of snacks. Like, a steady supply of chips, maybe some pretzels. Mrs. Jenkins, writing something down, snacks. Great. Any other, preferences? Alex, leaning forward, suddenly passionate, oh, and the office must have zero fluorescent lighting. It's like a lighting apocalypse. I'm pretty sure they're powered by the souls of overworked employees. Mrs. Jenkins, blinks, right. Anything else? Alex, very seriously, there must be at least one dog. No cats, though. Cats are too judgmental. Mrs. Jenkins, unimpressed, all right, last question, why should we hire you? Alex, confidently, because I can fix the coffee machine without breaking it, and that, my friend, is a rare and priceless skill. Mrs. Jenkins, raising her eyebrows, and yet, you managed to break the coffee machine in the lobby 5 minutes ago. Alex looks horrified. Alex, gulping, I can fix that, too. Just give me 10 minutes. Maybe 15. Mrs. Jenkins slowly stands up. Mrs. Jenkins, thank you, Alex. We'll be in touch. Alex stands up, walks to the door, then turns around. Alex, enthusiastically, so, about that dog. Do you prefer golden retrievers or? Mrs. Jenkins, interrupts, we don't have a dog. Alex, nodding, okay. But, hypothetically? Mrs. Jenkins opens the door and points toward the exit. Mrs. Jenkins, exasperated, hypothetically, no. Goodbye, Alex. Alex walks out, muttering to himself. Alex, to himself, well, at least I didn't break the printer this time. Cut to Mrs. Jenkins sitting at her desk, sighing deeply. Mrs. Jenkins, to herself, maybe I should get a dog. Screen fades to black. End.